Is Donald Trump about ready to declare a phony war in order to use the Alien Sedition and Alien Insurrection Act from 1798 to try to jail, put in internment camps, and deport undocumented people in this country? Is that the kind of country we want to live in? A peacetime use of this particular war power has never been justified by the United States Supreme Court, but we all have our doubts about this United States Supreme Court. And we talk about it on Legal AF, the podcast, After Dark edition. Take a listen. Trump is now considering, according to new reporting, something we talked about, Karen, before the election and during the campaign, that he was going to try to invoke the Alien Enemies Act or the Alien Sedition Act from 1798, which requires a declaration of war where we have an opposing country on the other side, which we declare to be our enemy, and that country has its agents within our country. We've only done it 3 times. It's always been a time of war: the War of 1812, World War I, World War II. Donald Trump wants to use it to deport people, claiming that the drug cartels have somehow been sent here from Mexico and Venezuela. This peacetime use of the Alien Enemies Act from 1789 to have a phony war declared in order to take out, drug lords from America. The 1798 Alien Enemies Act, Alien Sedition Act, which was passed in advance of, we were about to go to war with France, and we were worried about French sympathizers within the government and outside the government. And it's been used just 3 times. It's only when there's a declaration of war, although the president can do some things in advance of the declaration of war. If there's a surge across the border or within the country or an invasion that has to be repelled instantly, that's what we have, the slow walking undocumenteds that have been here for years. That's the invasion. And it has to be an enemy country or combatant is against us on one side and has sent their agents into the country that need to be expelled. We don't have that. Mexico is not at war with us. Venezuela is not at war with us. Sure, I don't know where exactly some of these drug gangs come from, but it's not because the state of they're not state-controlled terrorism. But Donald Trump's going to try to use it. We've used it in the War of 1812, World War I, and World War II. We put Hungarians, Germans, and Japanese in internment camps. These are all Americans, including the Japanese Americans, because under it. All turned out to be a violation, even during wartime, let alone peacetime, of our Constitution and the constitutional rights of people. And so Donald Trump apparently is going to do what he threatened to do and what Project 2025 said it was going to do, is to use it to turbocharge his deportation policies. And that's going to end up right on the doorstep of the United States Supreme Court. Look, this is the Pandora's box, as you said at the top of the show, that John Roberts opened by leading and writing the immunity decision, because this is the lesson that Donald Trump learned. I'm unstoppable. I'm unbreakable. I'm unstoppable. And this is going to be my legacy over the next 4 years, which is completely destroying the relationship between the U.S., the United States and the U.S. economy, the relationship between the U.S. government and the U.S. people. That's his mission. Welcome back. That's a full-length podcast, about an hour long. We do it every Wednesday and Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the Midas Touch Network, and then you can pick it up on podcast platforms of your choice. We sit at the intersection of law and politics so that you don't have to, but then you knew that already because you're here on Legal AF, the YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you're already part of our Legal AF audience, we really appreciate everything that you do for us. Without you, we wouldn't be in existence. If you don't know what I'm talking about, come tune in to Legal AF, the podcast, Wednesdays, Saturdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and on all podcast platforms. So until my next reporting, I'm Michael Popok. I'm Michael Popok, and I got some big news for our audience. Most of you know me as the co-founder of Midas Touch's Legal AF and the Legal AF YouTube channel, or as a 35-year national trial lawyer. Now, building on what we started together on Legal AF, I've launched a new law firm, the Popok Firm, dedicated to obtaining justice through compassionate and zealous legal representation. At the Popok firm, we are focused on obtaining justice for those who have been injured or damaged by a life-altering event by securing the highest dollar recoveries. I've been tirelessly fighting for justice for the last 35 years, so my own law firm organically building on my legal AF work just feels right. And I've handpicked a team of top-tier trial fighters and settlement experts throughout all 50 states known as big auto injury attorneys who have the know-how to beat heartless insurance companies, corporations, government entities, and their attorneys. Big Auto's attorneys working with my firm are rock stars in their respective states and collectively responsible for billions of dollars in recoveries. So if you or a loved one have been on the wrong side of a catastrophic auto, motor vehicle, rideshare, or truck accident, suffered a personal injury, or been the victim of medical malpractice, employment harassment or discrimination, or suffered a violation of your civil and constitutional rights, then contact the Popok firm today at 1-877-POPOK-AF or by visiting my website at www.thepopokfirm.com and fill out a free case evaluation form. And if we determine that you have a case and you sign with us, we don't get paid unless you do. The Popok firm, fighting for your justice every step of the way.